Happy Fantasy Friday. This is the Banter and Bookmarks podcast. We are Lindsay,
Kelly.
And Catherine, and we are three book besties diving into romantasy with unhinged theories and a bit of spice.
This is episode 4 of a 7-episode series covering Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. And today we're covering chapters 24 through 33, and there will be a ton of spoilers. We love to find clues, make connections, and theorize all things to come in book 2, Rites of the Starling.
So pour yourself a drink, come escape reality with us, and let's talk about books.
Let's start off by summarizing today's set of chapters, which again is 24 through 33. Lindsay, why don't you get us started?
Absolutely. Chapter 24. Xavier and Odessa go on a walk together, and he tells her that Evangeline is his daughter. He has kept her identity a secret so that she does not have to be forced to be involved in court life or have to be a sparrow. When she goes back to her treehouse, the guardian is waiting for her there and once again questions her loyalty.
Chapter 25. Xavier and Odessa begin taking walks together, and one day Evie joins them. The guardian pulls Xavier away, and it is obvious that something is wrong. Evie mentions that the guardian has been fighting the sick monsters, but Odessa doesn't know what she means. Luella, Evie's tutor, comes and fetches her. Later that evening, Brielle tells her that she heard a rumor that there are missing men from Trio and that the king's militia has been recruiting more men. With all the secrets surrounding her, Odessa decides it's time to act.
Chapter 26. Odessa and Brielle hatch up a plan and she sneaks out of Trio. She makes her way to the town of Ashmore, hoping to get more information about Alisaria's whereabouts. When she gets to town, however, she spots the Guardian. She doesn't think he sees her and she ducks into an inn to rent a room for the night. When she goes upstairs to her room, the Guardian is waiting for her. Uh-oh.
Chapter 27. Odessa is trapped and the guardian is pissed. They argue about her intentions and sneaking off. Odessa refuses to obey his orders to stay put, saying that she didn't want any of this, to be taken from her home and marry someone she didn't know. The guardian tells her that if she wanted more freedom, all she had to do was ask, and reminds her that so far they have denied her nothing. The guardian tells her that he will not leave her alone, and he settles on the floor for the night.
Chapter 28. When Odessa wakes up, the guardian is gone. He leaves her a note telling her not to wander far. Odessa goes for a walk and comes across another burned down library. She runs into Kathleen and they walk together through Ashmore. As they're walking and talking, Odessa hears a distinctive click. There are werewolves in Ashmore.
Chapter 29. The Bearwolves have attacked the town, and Kathleen and Odessa run to take cover at the inn. Odessa sees a bearwolf about to attack a woman, and she whistles loudly, distracting it. 2 of the monsters begin to chase Odessa, and the Guardian appears and starts to fight them off. Odessa ducks into the tavern, and 7 more wolves join the battle against the Guardian. Odessa tries to distract them and starts to shoot at them with a crossbow. She falls through the balcony, and the Guardian slays a bearwolf, bleeding dark green blood, saving Odessa's life and ending the attack.
Chapter 30. Odessa is back at the inn, mourning the 17 people that were lost in the attack. The guardian comes into her room, and he is drunk as a skunk. Before he falls asleep, Odessa asks him what is wrong with the sick beast, and he responds, Lissa.
Chapter 31. The next morning, Odessa and the Guardian leave Ashmore. They share a horse and ride together to Elder. As you can imagine, this one-horse trope is filled with tension. After a few hours, Odessa falls asleep against him.
Chapter 32. Odessa wakes up from a nightmare to find that she is still snuggled up against the Guardian. They've stopped on a cliff overlooking the kingdom of Tura. The tension is palpable, but they continue on their journey in silence. After a long day of riding, they finally make it to Elder. He leads her to what she assumes is Xavier's house and shows her to her new rooms.
Chapter 33. Odessa is awakened a week later by an incessant knocking at her door. It is Evie who wants to play with her. Evie tells her about a dungeon with books and trinkets in it. Odessa thinks it may contain books about Alisaria in it, so she convinces the child to show her where it is. Luella, Evie's tutor, finds them there, and they are soon joined by Catelyn. She gives Odessa a few books to read, and then Odessa and Evie make their way out. They stop short and listen to Luella and Catelyn whispering. Xavier finds him at the house later, and he sees her red hair for the first time. The Guardian joins them and hands Odessa a new sword.
Ooh, exciting.
Bitch got a weapon.
Yeah, she did. Redhead bitch got a weapon. Before we get into it, I have to show off my Shield of Sparrows shirt. I'm so excited. Let me move my thing.
Pretty.
From
It's
Femini
so
and Fable.
pretty.
She has a whole Shield of Sparrows line, and it says, "Beware the monsters with claws and the monsters with crowns." And it's so cute. And I'm so excited to wear it. And that's all.
That's a good line for this
like
book.
that.
Good
one.
one. And it's so pretty. I feel like it's
Yeah.
one of those if you know bookish shirts, so I can wear it and
That's a good one.
find
Tell
my
us again
real friends.
where it's from.
It's from Feminine and Fabled. She has an
Ah.
Instagram. She's awesome. She has a lot of really good stuff. She has a lot of good Ashen
Yeah.
series stuff. Yeah, she's great. It's Rebecca. We
Love
met her
that.
at Con in October. She's so sweet.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Xavier and Odessa go on a walk, and he confirms that Evangeline is his daughter.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Awkward.
Kind of.
Kind of, maybe a little bit. Still lying. He tells her she's 4 and that her mother died in childbirth. Well, at least the age is right.
Mhm.
He keeps her identity a secret because he doesn't want her involved in court life or to be forced to be a sparrow. True.
But I have a question about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just kind of popped into my head. At what point were they going to tell Odessa that they had swapped identities?
When they trust her.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Ransom gives her name.
It's just one of
Maybe.
those things, like, they're telling her, like, all these lies, and I feel like all the lies eventually are just gonna come tumbling down, like,
oh, yeah.
I don't know. Even if they
was a
weren't gonna
deep
tell
fake.
her, but, like, even if they weren't gonna tell her until they trusted her, why did he keep the fact that he had a daughter from his new wife?
Maybe it just didn't come up during the travel.
I don't
And
know.
also, he doesn't talk. To be fair, he
Listen.
He talks to
literally.
her, though.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't
he'll
know. It
talk,
just seems like
and then they go for like a week and they don't talk because he's
Yeah.
gone. They don't have
Yeah.
the
For the
best
plot.
relationship.
For the plot.
it just seems like I'm like, why? Yeah, why would they keep that from her? You know, I don't know. I don't
Men.
know. Okay,
I mean,
sorry. Keep
If
going.
they're trying to guess her character, maybe if she's gonna freak out, freak her out. Like maybe once we arrive at our destination,
Mm-hmm.
stick her in a treehouse while she has a meltdown.
I don't know. I'll let it go.
Well, Odessa is sweet about it, and she actually asks if she can get to know Evie, and he says yes. She also says she won't betray his secret. That was kind of her. Like, she's a very good person, in my opinion, right there,
Yeah.
getting that dropped on you.
Yeah, I like her.
Evie has blue starbursts, marking her as born in Ozarth's land, and later on, Odessa wonders, quote, why would Xavier, a crown prince, not ensure his child was born on Turin soil so she'd have green starbursts? I feel like this is this little trickling in of clues we get about the mom. It just seems like constant from here on out. And yes, we know it's because Luella gave birth to Evie in hiding. I also thought it was funny how this is the first time I think Xavier bows to Odessa before leaving her. And she notes that the Voster high priest did the same thing to the Guardian. Quote, what did it mean? What does it mean, Odessa?
What does it mean? Xavier tells Odessa that they're going to soon go to Elder and it will be safer there during the Crux migration. And so she asks him to move Brielle and Jocelyn also into a treehouse together to help them fight homesickness. I think also she feels really guilty and wants them to just be with people that they know. So it's another sign that she's always thinking of other people, even when they don't deserve it. Brielle and Jocelyn, I've got a bone to pick with you both.
Spicy.
Literally. And when Odessa returns to her treehouse, she sees the guardian is waiting for her there. There's, of course, some banter between them, as always, which is delicious. And then he again questions her loyalty and asks her straight up, "Are you a spy?" Whoops. Not a
Ooh.
good one.
She's like, no, I'm not.
No, I'm not a spy.
Xavier and Odessa start taking daily walks, and they have been now for the past 5 days, but only discussing safe topics: the weather, dinner, no politics, no
No.
religion, right?
Shooting the shit. They're just shooting the
Yeah.
shit.
No sex life.
No.
Yes.
Zero.
Evie gets brave and follows them, and Odessa notes how good of a father he is, that his protectiveness over the child is really endearing. And she even thinks that maybe this marriage isn't entirely hopeless.
Oh, poor sweetie.
Poor sweet thing.
She just
that
wants a
does not
mom in
expect
her
much.
life. I know. I know.
The Guardian returns and calls Xavier aside, and Odessa can immediately tell that something is wrong. Evie tells her that the Guardian goes off to fight the sick monsters, and Odessa wonders if it has anything to do with the green blood she has seen. Smart bitch, put it together.
Mm-hmm.
Evie's tutor Luella comes and takes her back for her lessons, but not before Odessa muses that, quote, she walked with elegance and immediately reminded me of Margot. Queen alert!
Yup. Ding, 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 ding.
Queen alert!
Regal. She's
Queen alert,
regal
queen
AF.
But Odessa is so good at that. She asks all of the questions.
She does.
Like, for us. She's like, oh, thank you for asking that question. I was wondering the same thing. She thinks all the important thoughts.
Yep.
Well, Odessa mentions there are bonfires near the commons each night, but that no one has ever invited her to attend. And she couldn't even if she wanted to, since the Guardian continues to take her rope ladder each night. Poor girl is lonely.
She's trapped.
Later that evening, Brielle tells Odessa that she has heard some rumors around the camp that there are a few men missing from Trio and that apparently the king's militia is recruiting. And Odessa wonders, why would a king need to build a militia? Good girl. Good girl.
Right.
More,
Connect the
more
dots.
great thoughts.
Things aren't good, lady.
Odessa decides she is fed up with all the secrets and she's going to take matters into her own hands. She says, quote, what would I become if I wasn't at the mercy of men? Fantastic quote.
Yes.
That's a
so
great
good.
line. She might not be a great spy or a great princess or a great warrior, but she is great at sneaking out. And that's what she's going to do.
I was pretty impressed with this plan, I'll be honest.
I was too. It was a good
I was
friend.
like, oh, good job, guys. Okay.
Yeah. I've got my period. Tell them I'm, indisposed for a few days.
Right.
Honestly, it was great.
Use your womanly things that men don't want to hear about. They don't ask questions.
Wait, can
about
I
it.
try that? Can I say, oh, I have my period. I'll be back in a few days?
Literally. See you later. I'm going to need a quick 5-day hiatus.
That's awesome.
But I also just kind of like kind of this attitude shift that she's going through. She's like, I'm done with this. I'm tired of the secrets. If nobody's going to tell me anything, why am I waiting around? Why am I allowing myself to be shoved aside? Put on your pants, your new trio pants.
Your trio pants.
Figure it out. And
Get
that's
those.
what she does. And as Lindsay said, Brielle and Odessa hatch this plan. They sneak her out of Trio, and they have kept Jocelyn in the dark for plausible deniability, which works in their favor because Jocelyn is our spy. Odessa needs to gather information about Alisaria, so she decides she has to get out of Trio. She washes her hair. Finally. She's done with the dye because nobody knows her as a redhead anyway.
Mm-hmm. So smart. And Brielle pretends to actually be the queen herself to this poor, unwitting supply driver. And she hitches them a ride to Ashmore, which is the closest town to Trio. And Odessa is absolutely relishing the freedom. She says, quote, "The journey was terrifying and thrilling. It was a dive off of a cliff, which we know she loves to do for like the thrill of it all. So this is a good feeling she's having. A leap of faith. This was freedom, and I was addicted." Our girl's getting all the things that she always wanted in a very strange way in the back of a supply driver truck. So
Not everything she
not
wanted.
everything. Yeah, I gotta wait for that ransom.
Don't worry, he's following her.
Because she's not actually very good at sneaking out. Well, on the road, on the road, she passes by a young boy and his mother. And I want to point out the odd interaction that takes place here. Odessa's hair is loose. Remember, it is now red for the first time. And the woman kind of mad dogs Odessa, noting that she didn't like the looks of her. And then Odessa covers up her hair. She definitely notices something. And it also definitely makes you think that the hair is what the problem is. So
But it's so weird because they don't
foreshadowing.
bring it up ever again.
There are
Yeah, but
little clues throughout the book, I feel
yeah,
like.
I take it as like out in the outskirts that there's always going to be like old wives' tales and like folk stories handed down. And so to me, this woman probably had like a story handed down to her that one of her ancestors maybe saw a crux with red hair or something like that. But why put it
Oh,
in here if not to give a hint that Odessa's hair is the problem? So that's how I kind of justified it in my head.
Yeah.
I buy
Yeah.
it. I buy it.
It marks
All right,
her
good.
in some way, for sure.
Very
Yeah.
good.
As they go, she talks to the driver when entering the town. She wonders how they keep the crux out during the migration, and the driver mentions they just don't, not anymore. When she arrives in town, she spots none other than the Guardian talking to a beautiful blonde woman outside of a tavern. Odessa ducks away before he spots her, and then she goes to an inn to rent a room for the night. Also note that Odessa feels jealous of this woman, so
Yep.
feelings are definitely starting to be caught there.
Mhm.
When she enters her room, however, the Guardian is waiting for her. "Hello, my queen." Well, fuck.
That's a
And
great
it's funny,
reaction.
earlier you guys both said Odessa isn't good at sneaking out because he knew, but I never got the impression that he was following her. I always put it together that he was already in town.
Yes, in this situation, I think you're right, and he was. There are other times
Yeah.
later when they're like, "Oh, she's sneaking in," and it's like, no, people know exactly where she is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think he was already
Okay.
out.
I do get the impression that when she spotted him and she sneaks away, he definitely saw her.
Oh yeah,
then.
Oh, yeah. That's the moment
yes.
where he's
yeah.
like,
He's
oh,
like, "What
she
is
just,
what is she?"
yeah, now
here?"
she's going to the inn. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Well, the Guardian is pissed. His eyes are very, very silver right now, and she's come to realize that silver is bad. Very, very bad. Quote, "You are, without a doubt, the biggest pain in my ass I've ever met." He tries to get her to obey him, and she refuses. Quote, "I didn't ask to be married to a stranger and shipped across the continent. I didn't ask to come to Torah. I didn't ask to be jailed in a wilderness treehouse. Those were decisions made for me by the whims of men. So you can threaten to take away my freedom all you want, but I will fight you every step of the way until my last breath, and I will not go quietly into a cage."
Yes, mic
Yes!
drop. Boom. Odessa.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's her.
Right? So good.
I mean,
Ugh.
she's finally gotten that freedom, and she's like, "Sorry, I had a very eye-opening carriage ride here, and I'm not going to change back."
A changed woman, okay?
I had an eye-opening carriage ride.
And
Not even
supply
carriage,
driver.
supply.
the plot.
He was a
It
therapist
awesome.
on the side, okay? The Guardian responds to her, quote, "Did you ever stop to think that maybe the door to your cage has always been unlocked, Sparrow, and all you had to do was push it open?" Well, I don't think she thought about that. No. Oh, okay. And he points out to her that they have denied her nothing. And Odessa,
Except the truth.
I
Sorry,
mean,
I'm
Yeah.
fine.
yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Ignore
In
me.
terms of material things and things to
Continue.
do,
I'm sorry.
I mean, they gave her tent baths. Let's be real.
I had an
What more could you
outburst.
need? The truth? Come on. Come on. Well, Odessa starts to feel a little bit guilty about how she has shunned their kindness. And she also says that she simply wasn't used to testing doors. She learned a long time ago that they were always just locked for her. And in fairness to Odessa, her rope ladder in Trio has been taken from her each night. So, like, you can say that she's not in a cage, but how's she going to climb down out of the tree without her rope
Yeah.
ladder? So she's kind of stuck.
It's interesting, too, because it brings up a larger discussion about what is protection and what is, like, keeping someone locked in a cage, keeping them away. So
Yeah.
he
Yep.
might have also had a big realization in that moment going, oh, maybe she's right a little bit.
Yeah. And like, why did you have to make me ask, can I have my rope ladder? Is it like a petty game? Like what are you
Right.
getting at
Yes.
here?
Mhm.
I
Who
always
knows?
hate it because we've seen it in a lot of books where men will be like, well, why didn't you ask the question? Bitch, we are not playing games. We are
Yeah.
adults.
If you
Don't
made me
make
feel like I couldn't ask the question, don't then turn it on me to say, well, you should have just asked. Really? Now you can say that. Hindsight.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm currently, like today, listening to A Court of Mist and Fury for our ACOTAR coverage, and I'm right in the midst of Tamlin thinking that he is protecting Feyre, and Feyre feeling like she is locked in a cage. So just very interesting that I literally was listening to that today and then come over to this. It makes you look at it in a different light. So.
Tampon being tampon.
Tamlin.
The Guardian says that he will not leave his queen unguarded. Quote, "You can either have the bed without the pillow or the floor with it. Your choice, Cross, unless, of course, you want me to sleep with you."
Yes. Do I get a vote? Yes. That one.
That answer.
Quote, "My breath caught. The mental image that filled my mind was as vivid as an imprint. His weight pinning me to the mattress, his skin hot against mine, his voice in my ear, his fingers threaded into my hair." Okay, you've clearly been thinking about this for you to conjure up that mental image so quickly.
Yep.
But Lindsay,
And-
if your theory about he can read minds is true,
He knew.
I hope he read
knows.
that one. I hope he read that one.
Oh yeah, he knows. He knows exactly.
I mean, listen,
what he's doing.
this is about when he starts to really flirt back. So,
Yep. He's.
maybe he reading,
He knows.
but he settles in to the floor.
Sure does.
Gentlemen. Odessa asks him how he found her, and he says, quote, "There's only one inn in Ashmore, and your hair isn't exactly subtle. That dye you wear is pungent as a dead fish. Did you really think I wouldn't notice?" And she's like, yeah, because I've been doing it all my life and nobody else notices, you weird freak that can smell everything.
I mean, I will say, as someone that bleaches their hair, it stinks.
It does.
And I am in 2026. So
It still stinks. It still stinks.
like it,
and you're used
I can
to it.
smell bleach on my hair for like 3 days afterwards. So I kind of get it, Guardian.
He asks the real reason she came to Ashmore, and Odessa says, "Only if you tell me your real name." That's fair. He says, "Well, I guess we're at an impasse," and he goes to sleep.
Jerk.
Cannot be tricked.
I like this. They're each standing their ground stubbornly, and I'm enjoying it. Actually, I'm enjoying it. Odessa wakes up the next morning and the guardian is gone, but he's left her a note. I have business to finish before we leave. Don't wander far. So she's not locked in her room. The guardian has given her what she asked for, freedom to explore.
Mhm. And so Odessa goes for a walk and she tries to find the library, girl after the banter and bookmark's own heart.
Good girl.
Although for different reasons, I guess she's not looking for a romantasy book, but I digress. And when she arrives, to her dismay, she finds that it has also been burned down. She runs into Kathleen, the trio librarian, and they walk together. Kathleen tells her that the Guardian is sworn to protect Odessa, and Odessa doesn't realize. She wonders, when did this happen? When you signed the thing in blood and married him, but I guess we'll get to that later. They see migration tunnels that have been built to protect people during the Crux migration, but they aren't deep enough or reinforced enough, which is very scary. And the Crux would easily be able to kill anyone trying to hide in these tunnels. Odessa asks Kathleen why King Ramsay is destroying books and libraries, and Kathleen responds, quote, because Ramsay has lost his God's damn mind. I wish I had a better explanation. Go off, Kathleen.
Good.
I know. I love you. Odessa tells her that she has been trying to learn more about their kingdom, but that's been made difficult without books, obviously. And Odessa also asks her about the monsters. And Kathleen tells her that living in towns like Ashmore is a risk because of them. She goes on to tell her that the king used to protect these towns with soldiers, but he's withdrawn that protection. Odessa's guess is that he wants people to move into the cities instead of staying out here in towns like Ashmore. And Odessa asks her, quote, does he want them moved to the cities to be safe or watched? And Catherine replies to her with, smart girl. But before she can talk about it more, a warning bell goes off.
That's right. Odessa can hear the clicking sounds.
Oh,
There are bear wolves in
I,
Ashmore.
Clicking?
I,
Yeah.
no, nope. Stop it.
Yeah.
It's like that World War Z thing that they used to do with like
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yep. Odessa and Kathleen race toward the inn looking for shelter. Odessa, of course, sees a woman in danger and she whistles loudly to distract the bear wolf, but it turns its attention on Odessa instead.
Oh, God.
But the guardian steps forward and begins to fight.
Ugh.
More wolves join into it, though, and the guardian is surrounded at one point by 9 bear wolves at the pinnacle of this fight.
I was scared. I'm not going to lie. I was
Right?
scared in this fight. Yeah. I was like, something bad's going to happen to him. Something bad's going to happen to him.
He's fine.
He's got
He's a
this.
guardian.
Kathleen and Odessa make it to the tavern, and the blonde woman that Odessa saw the guardian speaking to the previous day, she is there, and we find out her name is Soraya.
Well, Odessa, feeling this new found freedom, grabs a crossbow, determined to help out. Good for you, girl. One of the barrel wolves crashes through the glass window into the tavern and kills Soraya. Odessa and Kathleen run upstairs, and Odessa goes out onto the balcony, and she sees the guardian's movements starting to slow, and so she starts shooting at the barrel wolves. She does help him with several of her shots, but then she falls through the balcony, crashing down into the ground below her. And a bear wolf with dark green blood is there. And she sees the guardian make a run for her. He splits the bear wolf's head in two and saves Odessa's life. Now, Lindsay, just to pause here for a minute. So, you know how we were spiraling about, is it all monsters attracted to Odessa? Is it just the ones with Lissa? I went back. So this bear wolf here is at least the third one with green blood she's come across. There was a marrow whale when she was coming over the sea. She had 2 separate grizzer attacks, one in chapter 16 that didn't have any mention of green blood, and then another in
Yeah.
chapter 18, but it did have mention of green blood, and now this barrel wolf. So I'm kind of still with you. I don't know if that first Grizzer was like a red herring or if it really is just the monsters with Lissa that are coming after her. I cannot decide.
I lean towards that first Grizzer was a red herring personally
Yeah.
because they are in monster country. Like
Right.
Mhm.
there and at the beginning, I think it's Tilia says to her that they have to be like
Mhm.
on guard at all
Right.
times because of monster attacks. So I
Right.
think the fact that we don't see any blood from that Grizzer, I think it's for us to think it's all monsters, but in reality, that was just a normal attack.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the Lissa ones are the ones that are attracted to her.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because that was literally the only one.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
Yeah.
well, then we have an extremely tense moment between the two of them. She is still holding the crossbow, and when he hauls her to her feet, it is wedged between them. She thinks that her finger is on the trigger, and all she has to do is squeeze. And he whispers, "Do it." But she only thought it.
Yeah. So, mind reader theory here. This definitely makes us think that he can read her mind. He says, "Look at me," which is also very hot. And what she sees makes her knees buckle. She sees a monster with silver eyes. Ugh.
Yeah, I it's so funny with the mind reader thing. I again go really back and forth. I know I literally just said that like 30 seconds ago about another one of our theories, but this is another one where I can just see it being the author being really tricky that that's normal.
Mhm.
Someone has a crossbow held
Right.
to you and you're like, do it. But also, if it is mind reading,
Mhm.
then it's really sneakily put in there and I love
Mhm.
it.
Mhm. It's so
You'll
smart.
love it. You'll love it.
Love it, love it, love it.
Kathleen rushes to her, and then the guardian disappears
Mm.
to get blithering drunk.
Yes, he does. Odessa is back at the inn now, and she is mourning the deaths of 17 people who died in the attack, including the tavern owner, Soraya. Odessa thinks that she has now been in Tura for over a month, and she thinks about how much her life has changed during that time. I mean, she's confident, she's learning how to fight, she's standing up for herself. She also has no family around. Like the girl's going through it, and it's only been a month. And then the guardian comes staggering into her room, fully healed, by the way,
Mhm.
but also plastered drunk, just like 3 sheets to the wind. Done, done, done. So
That's
funny.
fair.
Yeah. He
It's
went,
fair.
listen, he also had a traumatic experience,
Yeah.
Come on.
She asks him, "Why do you call me the sparrow?" And he responds, "Because you're a bird."
What?
Okay. Okay. Now, she is the sparrow, so it makes sense that he would call her this. He did see her cliff jumping and flying, but do you think that there's more to it? Do you think that the guardian knows that she's a crux?
100,000,000% I do.
That
You
he
do?
Yes.
knows, that he knows.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
why do you think
Yes.
that he knows? I'm curious.
Because one, we know that he is the real prince. Why would he go through all the trouble that he did to enact the chain of sevens to then choose the other sister as his bride if there wasn't something else there? Because they talk about it all the time. Why wouldn't it be May? Why would it be her? Because I think that they know something. And then the fact that he says this right now and that he teaches her to fight, there are so many things in the way that he treats her. And I feel like drunk words or sober thoughts. And he's like, well, you're a fucking bird because you're a bird. And I'm taking it. I think he knows. I just have a gut
Yeah.
feeling that he knows.
Mm.
Do you
And that's
think that the ending of, like, him being shocked, though,
yeah,
to see the Crux turn into a woman, that's the only thing for me that's like,
same.
I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
he's too surprised by it.
I
Like,
think he's
he stares
surprised.
at it for, like, 10 minutes, he says.
Yes, I think it's because I think he's staring at it because I think that he is surprised because I think it is related to her. And so I think that he is looking at her like because she looks so much like what I
Mhm.
think Odessa looks like. So I think it's less that he's surprised that, oh my God, wait, this is a redheaded woman who's a crux. I think it's, holy shit, that's her mother. That's her twin
Mm.
sister. Like, that's where I think the staring comes in. And so, yeah,
Mm.
I do think he knows.
Also, because knowing something in theory and seeing something in front of you
True.
are gonna elicit different reactions.
Mhm.
So he might
That's true.
know that she's a crux, but to see a crux turn into a naked woman in front of him is an entirely
True.
different experience.
It's true.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
so you don't
I
buy his theory or his argument of like, I saw you jump off the cliff. I wanted to free
He hasn't even
you.
told her that yet.
There's more.
No,
Okay.
no, I think that's an easy way for him to talk around it, but I do think that he knows more. And I think the biggest reason is because what I said, I think that he made a lot of moves to make sure that she was the one that he was married to, and I think it's
Yeah.
because he knows something a lot more than he's and he they also say that all the kings know about the crux and they're not doing anything about it. He is a future king. And so I think he knows a whole
Yeah.
lot more than he's telling us here. But I could be
Mm.
wrong. Like we don't
Yeah.
have a lot, but it's just my gut.
I
I
see
I
it.
still struggle just because of that last chapter, and then also I think I could have given him more credit of knowing stuff if he knew more about Lissa. Like he doesn't know it's his mother came up with it. The Voster don't know about it. And then also the fact that when she's reacting to Voster magic, he is really surprised by that, and so are the Voster. And so
Yeah,
I
but
would think those two would go hand in
with the
hand
crux, see
of
those things to
yeah.
me
Yes.
don't mean
See,
anything
that
about the crux.
that actually convinces me more.
Can you
That
help
what?
me
That
get
he
there?
knows the crux?
Yeah, because he has been searching for a cure, they've been trying to do everything, and so it makes sense that, like, with all of that, he never connected Lysa and the Crux together because he wouldn't have known to do that. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
yeah, I think as you were saying that, it solidified the argument in my mind of like, oh, he wouldn't have gone looking in that direction because he didn't know. So it doesn't prove that, like,
Yeah,
if he
but
knows about Lysa, it doesn't prove that he didn't know about this. I think
Yeah.
why would someone have connected those things?
so
Yeah.
what you're saying is
You
his
know?
like hopelessness as of not thinking there's a cure period is because he didn't connect the two?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, like,
I think
why
he
else
knows
would he
about
have
the
connected
crux, but
them?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
He
they're
knows
2
he has
separate things for
Lysa.
him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah. I'm still held up in the fact that the Voster don't understand like why she has the reaction to their magic, and neither does he. And I feel like if he knew she was a crux, then he would have already made the
Mm.
connection with the Voster as well, because she's
Mm.
some magical creature in and of herself. And then
But
to
they don't know
your
I
she's
don't
reacting to
a
to the
and
magic.
no, no, no,
also,
no.
we
I
don't
know.
know
I
that
mean,
that's an all
no,
crux
no, no.
thing. I think that's an Odessa thing.
No, I know. I'm saying when they eventually get to the point when the high priest joins them with
Mhm.
Brother Dime,
Mhm.
and he sees the
Mhm.
first time she has that reaction. I feel like since that happens in several chapters from
Yeah.
now, if he knew she was a crux, because I kind of put her being a crux, I kind of connect that with another reason why she's having those reactions to the Voster magic. At least
Mhm.
for me, I do. So that's where I'm still hung up of, well, if he knows she's a crux, he wouldn't be surprised that the Voster magic is having an impact on her, since we still
Right.
don't know if the crux thing is related to that Voster magic or if
Right.
that's just some other external thing. So I'm still hung up on that part. And then, yeah, the last chapter. And then I guess the final thing is the fact that as of the end of it, he does find out his mother created
Create.
Lissa,
Yeah.
but he's still not thinking towards Odessa as being part of that cure. And I feel like if he knows she's a crux, he might be thinking more in that direction, but maybe he hasn't processed it
Yeah.
yet or
See,
Yeah.
something.
I don't
I
think
don't
yeah.
think that the reason why she feels their magic and all that stuff is necessarily that's what the crux can feel, because then I do think that they would have connected that, but we you've made that up in your mind, right? Like that's like a theory that you
Oh,
have, but
yes,
they
yes,
don't
yes.
there's nothing that tells us that that
Yeah.
is. So maybe that's, you know what I mean?
It might be an incorrect connection. Yes.
Right. Exactly.
And it could be as
Exactly.
simple as someone not seeing all the puzzle pieces
Yes.
in front of him and just
Right.
not putting them together yet.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
he
Right.
can know one thing and know another thing, but not have connected them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, Odessa asks him if the beasts are sick, making the connection with the green blood. Good job, girl.
Mhm.
Drunkenly, he whispers, Lissa, and then falls asleep.
Or
That was very girly. I
Do
don't
that
think that's
again,
how
do that
he,
again.
how he
Lissa.
did it.
Le-
Lindsay and the Guardian are not the same
no,
voice.
not
Clearly.
the same. Not the same
That
person.
voice was
Clearly.
these are spirit
Yes.
Lissa.
These are spirit fingers. Oh man.
Whoopsie doopsie. You got drunk and spilled your secrets.
You told everybody everything.
and forgot about it. Totally forgot about it.
And then forget about it the next day.
Well, when Odessa wakes up, the Guardian is gone again. Kathleen pulls her into a hug and says goodbye to her, telling her how strong she is. And she also gives her a book. I love this will be the beginning of Kathleen educating Odessa, and I am all for it. I love it. The Guardian comes back and pulls Kathleen into a hug. Odessa says to the Guardian that the people should have protection, a warning, and the king of Tura should be stepping in. He glares at her and she says, I'm only asking. I think I have that right. He asks her who gave her that right, and she says, quote, my blood. The moment I signed my name on that treaty, the day Xavier claimed his bride prize, I'm here. I'm in Tura. I have the right, just like any other person in the kingdom. This cannot stand. This cannot continue.
I'm obsessed with you.
Also, what do you mean who gave you that right? Bitch, you
you.
did.
Yeah,
You
literally.
fucking are my husband.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. What you know about
I'm
that?
the damn queen.
Right.
Well, he responds back to her saying, quote, and what do you suggest, my queen? What should we do about this? What solution do you propose that Xavier, myself, and all of our rangers have not already considered? A wave of embarrassment does flood over her, realizing that she has no solution, but she still tells him, I want to make a difference. I want to do what's right, and I want to help. And he doesn't mock her for that.
Yeah, I love that moment between them. Well, the Guardian tells Odessa to get on the horse. And then we get our one horse trope, which we all know that I absolutely love. And he swings up into the saddle behind her. Quote, then he swung into the saddle behind me, his thighs hugging my own, his chest pressed against my back as he took up the reins, his arms locking me in place. The heat from his body, the sense of leather and spice and wind were inescapable. Damn, how I wished I hated that smell. This ride would be agony, absolute torture. Then he whispers, relax, into her ear, and a shiver rolls down her spine. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. That is a good one horse trope.
If he's
Mhm.
reading her mind, then when he said, relax.
You relax, sir.
They have a long talk as they ride. Odessa asks the Guardian if he believes in the gods, wondering if they gave him his gifts. He responds, quote, what you call gifts, I call a curse. Yes, I believe in the gods. I believe they watch us from their precious shades, and I believe they're vindictive, manipulative bastards intent on tormenting us from their thrones. Oh,
Interesting.
Okay.
Odessa asks where they're going, and he says, will you always ask so many questions? But he does tell her that they are going to Elder, that Xavier is waiting for them there. Odessa thinks to herself that once she is with Xavier, the Guardian will likely disappear again. And quote, good. I needed him to disappear, to go away for weeks, months, and give me time to put my head, my heart back into place, to banish him from my mind. She starts to tire as they ride, and the guardian tells her to fall asleep against him.
Okay.
And, quote, somewhere in Tura, curled against the wrong man, I drifted off to sleep.
Except he's the right man.
That's your husband.
That's your husband. That's
Have
your
fun, sweetie.
husband.
Yep.
I gotta say, too, I really am excited about the conversation they had about the gods because I do think we're gonna continue to learn a lot more about the gods, and I don't know, I have a feeling that they're gonna have a bigger role to play in the next book and maybe in book 3, and so I like that he's like, "Oh, yeah, I believe in them, and I think that they exist, and they're watching." I just feel like we're gonna get maybe meet them or get more about them in the next book, so or else why would that be the
We
conversation on
shall
the
see.
horse? Yeah, well, very soon, very soon.
Yeah.
Odessa has a nightmare while asleep, dreaming about disappointing her father by not bringing him back the information that he was hoping for. This definitely shows that her thoughts are starting to shift here, really, which is good because her
Mhm.
father's dick. Sorry, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, you've
It's
never
not
been
not a
you've
lie,
never
though.
been sassy at all about anybody in a book that we don't like.
You've never called anyone a dick.
Never.
I wanna make that face that Catherine made a meme.
She wakes up and she is still leaning against the Guardian. They have stopped on a ridge overlooking a beautiful vista, a river, a forest, looming indigo mountains with white snow-capped peaks. The Guardian says that his mother brought him here for the first time when he was a boy. It makes Odessa realize she doesn't actually know a lot about the Guardian. Quote, he'd only mentioned his mother once before. What about his father? Did he have siblings? It was an odd feeling to know this man, yet know nothing about him. I knew his expressions. I knew the way he moved. I knew how the air charged when he was angry and the realm blurred when he was close. He was fiercely loyal to his people. He loved his kingdom. He was strong and unbreakable, but gentleness could emerge from that hard exterior. It bothered me more than it should, that at best I could only consider him an acquaintance. That's deep, girl. That's
I
That
know.
is some feelings. Yeah, yeah.
And she notices a new eye color for him, a deep shade of hunter green, like the color of the Turin forests.
Mm. And as they're stopped on this ridge, his gaze drops to hers and hello, sexual tension. Quote, why couldn't I feel this way for the man who'd claimed me? Our mouths were too close. All it would take was a shift and we'd collide. We'd crash into each other and the shockwaves would destroy us both. I needed him to say something mean, to strike a nerve, to bruise my heart. I needed him to hurt me so thoroughly I'd never forgive him. I hate you. It should have broken the moment. It should have pissed him off. But he stared at me like I was something to behold, something to cherish, something to protect. Yes, you do, he said. Don't forget. Never.
Oh,
Ugh.
oh, I love it so much because they do this throughout the rest of this book.
Yeah.
This constant "I hate you, don't forget it," and it's like Princess Bride when he's
Yes.
like, and they discovered when he was saying "as you wish," it actually meant "I love
I
you"
love you.
or
Is
whatever
this
the
a
quote
kissing
is.
book? It is. It's that.
I think that goes to the actual very end of the book, but it's like it shifts. They know it shifts. They won't say I love you, but they know.
They know. Yeah. Yeah. And it's beautiful love story telling. You can tell that Devney Perry is a romance author before she did her romantasy and her fantasy
Mhm.
because it's very good tension and slow burn
Mhm.
romance.
Mhm.
Well, they continue on their journey and they don't speak the rest of the way. I think they've had enough tension for the time being.
They arrived in Elder with the guardian telling her that she is free to explore within the fortress walls. Odessa doesn't promise him that, and the guardian grumbles but doesn't push it. He takes her to what Odessa assumes is Xavier's house. He leads her to her rooms and tells her that Jocelyn and Brielle will remain in trio for now.
Hmm.
There is a jar of hair dye there, but the guardian tells her that she doesn't have to hide who she is, not here. So she empties it out the window.
Yes.
I love this moment for her. I feel like this
Yeah.
is a true, this is me, I no longer have to hide moment, and I think it's so powerful.
Yes.
A few days later, Odessa is awakened by an incessant knocking on her door. It's Evie, who wants to play with her. They've been getting to know each other over the past 5 days. They go to explore Elder, and Evie tells her that there is a creepy dungeon full of books and scrolls and trinkets. Odessa wonders if one of the books or scrolls could contain a map showing Alisaria. So she says, "Okay, let's go. Take me there." And I
Take me to said creepy dungeon.
Yes, I love it. She's like, "Ooh, let's go." Luella is there though, as is Kathleen, and we get another Luella Margot comparison. Queen alert. Another hint who
Yep.
Luella really is. And Kathleen has brought Odessa more books to read. There's one on Calandran history, animals and monsters in Tura, the Crux, and one on myths and legends. And there's an important legend that Kathleen tells her here. She says, quote, "It's about a woman named Sora who sailed across the horizon. She was gone for 100 years, but when she returned to Calandra, she brought with her creatures and animals our realm had never seen. Some believe that some believe that is where our monsters come from. Not the new gods, but a god we've never known. A god more powerful than any other. It always made me wonder, what other stories are out there? What if some are true? What if we've burned too many books?" This just turns
Mhm.
everything on its head. Not the
Yes.
new
Yeah.
gods, Sora, maybe
And
an ancestor to Odessa?
yeah, I mean, there's no way to know, right? Like, but stories like this are not put in books unless
Mhm.
they are Easter eggs and hints, and
Yeah.
so I'm very excited to see exactly where this one goes. And
Yeah.
Kelly, it's funny that a few minutes ago you were saying that you feel like all the gods in this book are important and
Mhm.
we might see them on page. So this is just another of, I mean, why else would this story be
Yes.
put in here if we were not to not learn about her?
Yes.
So mm,
I
mm, mm.
I strongly believe that Odessa is a descendant of this woman, Sora, in some way, whether she is the daughter, whether she is like a goddess of some kind. But I absolutely think that, yes, she is a crux, but I think that she is something else. A lot of the things that were like, well, why did the fennec poison not kill her? Why
Mhm.
can she feel the Voster priest's magic and nobody else can? Why are the monsters attracted to her, whether they're Lissa infected or not? Like that theory, regardless. And I think we're pointing to the fact that she is more powerful or different than others. And this
Mhm.
story brings that in for me. And so I think that's a theory that I am pretty tight on, that I wanna
Mhm.
put my flag in of like, yeah, I think she's a
Oh, yeah.
descendant there.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 I also will be really curious to know why Sora brought all those monsters to this world. Like, what was her reasoning behind
Yeah.
doing that to
Yep.
begin with?
Mhm.
But I totally agree because I think Kathleen is like our queen of Easter eggs. Like, she's the one that's telling us important
Yes.
things like throughout this entire book.
Yeah. She absolutely does. She's the librarian. She is the keeper of the books and the information.
Okay, so while you're talking, I looked up Sora name meaning.
Good girl.
So there's a couple of different. So Japanese, which it says is the primary, would mean sky or heaven, symbolizing openness and freedom. Korean, I'm thinking this isn't it. It translates to conch shell. I'm going to throw
Okay.
that one out. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Italian, it says it could be derived from Latin roots. It could mean sister or refer to the town Sora. And if Native American, some origins relate it to mean singing bird or the act of soaring.
There you
I
go.
mean, heaven, bird, sister, hello, twins. Twins is also a key part of this. All of these, minus the conch shell, that one doesn't
That's the
really
conch
fit. But
shell.
all the others really do little pieces of it
Yeah, who
match
she is.
pieces of her personal story.
Yeah. So those are all very interesting.
I thought you were
Good
going to
thing you
say
said that.
something silly like Sora means caw, Soren.
Oh, well, it does
Oh.
mean conch shell in.
I mean, who knows? Maybe
I don't
she's
know how
gonna
to make
go
that
under
sound.
the sea, and there's some kind of mermaid connection and conch shells.
Obviously.
Kelly's triggered.
Obviously.
Give me mermaid, please.
Everything is pointing us towards the sky, but you
It's
know what,
probably
guys?
pointing us to
Let's
mermaids.
Go to
So
the sea.
let's go find some mermaids. I mean, what you really mean is under the ocean. Got it. Okay.
Solid. Got it.
Solid.
Odessa asks Kathleen why the king is burning books, but Luella interrupts and sends them on their way. Luella, why are you interrupting so much about these questions?
Seriously, let us cook, please. I need to know. And Odessa overhears Luella. They're whispering here, and Luella is warning Kathleen about giving Odessa the books. So she and Evie start to spy on that conversation, and it's a pretty heated argument with Luella complaining about Evie finding the hidden dungeon full of books, and Kathleen remarks about Evie. She says, "quote She's too much like her mother. Hint, hint. She's you, bitch. She gets it from you." So,
But like literally, that's what she's saying. She's like, well, she's too much like her mother, lady. So what
Right.
you want?
Podcast.
Are we assuming that Luella doesn't want Kathleen to tell her because she doesn't trust her and because she's afraid that Odessa is a spy and technically she's the queen and she's protecting her kingdom? Like,
Yeah,
that's the
bit?
assumption, right?
A
Yeah,
bit, but
yeah.
I mean, if Luella is paying any attention to Odessa, Odessa figures shit out, and she might not want Odessa to figure out her ultimate secret either.
See, I don't think Luella at this point would know that about Odessa. Like, think about, we know that because we're in Odessa's head, but what has Odessa done at this point to show Luella that she's anything other than this chick that got sent across the sea?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I see it as like Luella protecting her son too, of like, we don't know too much about this girl. I care about my son
That's true,
first and foremost. But
yeah,
I agree with you though.
But I mean, I could still see Luella also just wanting protect my secret, period. I don't want anybody reading any books that could lead them towards my secret at all.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Right, because I was the creator of Lissa, and I don't want anyone getting close to that too. So she's probably pretty
and also nobody
fourfold.
can know who he is, and like there's a lot of
Mm.
secret that this woman is hiding, and so it makes sense. They go back to the house. Xavier is there, and even he sees Odessa's red hair for the first time. Odessa wants to have missed her husband, but her heart pines for the Guardian, which is funny because he's her husband.
Good job,
And
girl.
she's like, oh man, it would be nice if I would actually miss Xavier. She goes up to her room, and surprise, surprise, the Guardian's waiting for her. And he gives her a gift, a sword that she asked for back on the ship. Finally, he trusts her enough and gives her a sword. This is a huge moment, I think, for the two of them.
Yeah. At some point, can we make a social media clip about this book with the sound, "Oh, baby, where the hell is my husband?
Yes!
Why is it taking him so long?" Because that is the two of them. That is Odessa's theme song.
That's funny.
Good thing, Odessa, you fell in love with your husband. So
that's right. Here the hell is your husband, honey.
Here the hell is your husband.
Well, on that note, that is a wrap on episode 4 in our coverage of Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. Next week, we will be covering chapters 34 through 42.
Be sure to like, follow, rate, comment on our podcast wherever you are listening, and follow us on our social media channels so we can find more unhinged readers just like you, just like us. Look at these ladies. They're insane.
Oh, right. We also have a Patreon channel. And for only $5 a month, you can now be a book dragon. You know what? My accent's coming out. $5. Our monthly subscription includes a monthly book club, often featuring the book author, early access to episodes, membership to our private Discord channel, merchandise discounts, and free hugs at events. Come join the fun today. I let the accent free, so please come join us. Authors.
Thank you so much for joining us this week. Happy reading.
Bye.
Bye.